cozy night in with a creepy story. Now, today's story is about two sisters called Betsy and Kelly. Now, when they were both very young, there was about, I think Betsy was 9 and Kelly was 10. They moved in to this big farmhouse. It was called West Wickham Farmhouse, and it was an absolutely beautiful big farmhouse. It had everything in it. It had a big, massive, fireplace, big oak beams in the ceiling. In the back, it had this big apple tree, and what they used to do when they were kids, they would climb the apple tree, and it had a pond, or what was a pond, but then they'd use that for like a paddling pool in the summer. They absolutely loved it there. And the other thing that they loved, funnily enough, was the ghost. Yeah, this place had a ghost, but it was a very caring ghost. They wasn't afraid of this ghost at all. In fact, they called the ghost Mother because it was so kind. Now what would happen is the girls would go to bed. They both shared this bedroom, big bedroom, and they both had side tables next to the bed. They would go to sleep, and in the morning there would be 2 cups of what was warm milk on the bedside tables. They knew it was warm milk because it had like a layer of skin at the top, so it had been heated up. And they would think, "Ah, look at that, Mother has brought us warm milk in the night in case we were thirsty. She's so nice and wonderful." They absolutely loved this ghost. Another time, they'd be in the living room, and part of the furnishing in this farmhouse was this antique wooden chair that they used to have against the wall in the living room. Now what would happen is if they were sitting there watching TV or playing a game, or even just sitting in there talking, the chair would start to inch ever so slowly forward. It would take some time, but eventually it would get to the middle of the living room, and they'd think, "Oh, look, Mother's coming to sit with us. She just wanted to be close to us." They used to feel really sad when they had to push the chair back against the wall after it had taken us so long to get it over to there, but you know, it was what it was. This went on for quite a while, and all the time they was there, every day, you know, the milk would be there. They'd never drink it, they always threw it away because it had gone a bit skinny at the top, you know. And it was so fascinating watching the chair slowly sort of inch forward to the middle of the room. So they had so much fun there. Anyway, eventually they moved, And this was back in like the 70s. This was now years later. And now all of a sudden you had like the internet and mobile phones and things. And Betsy and Kelly were just sitting there one day. Kelly had come over to Betsy's place, like to visit. And while they're sitting there having a coffee, they said, "Do you remember West Wickham Farmhouse?" And she said, "Yeah, wasn't it great there? It's so much fun, you know." She said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you remember Mother, the ghost?" "Yeah, oh, she was so sweet. Remember, she used to like bring us milk, you know, and she used to push the chair to the middle of the room in the living room. Yeah, she was so great." Being as it was now the age of the internet, they said, "Why don't we look it up, the place, you know, on Google?" So Betsy got a phone, went on to Google, and Googled West Wickham Farmhouse. And lo and behold, there it was. It popped up. They said, "Oh, that's cool, look." They're looking through all the pictures of it. But then all of a sudden, this headline came up. There was an article in the newspaper from the 60s. And what had happened is a woman lived at West Wickham Farmhouse. She went crazy, poisoned her kids with milk, and then hung herself. And they actually had the pictures there. And there, to Betsy's surprise, is a picture of the living room from the farmhouse. And hanging from the beam in the middle of the living room was the old woman. And the chair that she had used to stand on and had kicked away was the antique wooden chair that used to move forward to the middle of the living room. Oh, so there you go, guys. I hope you enjoy these. I know these don't really get the same sort of amount of views as like my eating videos and gum chewing videos and gameplay videos. You know, these probably get the least amount of views, but knowing that everyone is watching that do watch normally, you know, makes it still worthwhile. I personally like these myself. You know, me and Travers Licence will probably sit down later tonight, watch a movie, and then probably put this on ourselves to watch, you know, because she likes them too. So yeah, so everyone that does watch, guys, it's great to see you all. And you know, as long as some people are watching, then I'll carry on doing them. So it's brilliant to see you all. I will be back with more videos. There's more videos on the way. So, you know, keep watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know whether you like it or not. And I hope you all have a brilliant Friday. So until next time, have yourselves a wonderful, peaceful night. put that there.